guys, Pipebox down here. In this video we're going to recommend 20 balance changes and a few sneak peeks of the brand new brawlers. They'll be free this update, and I'm going to recommend a damian release date. Anyway, just all the balance changes I'd like to see. Starting off with DJ, I just think they should revert the nerfs at this point. I don't think they were needed, if I'm being honest. Just revert those nerfs you did with her, and maybe she should become a little bit better. But not the 3,000 damage bomb, maybe just revert all of them. Next up we got Ollie. His damage is not the best right now, so I think he should just get a little bit of a damage of 1,800 to 1,900 because there are a lot of tanky options in the lesser right now, so with that little health buff I do think it will help him out. I don't want a hypercharge rate buff, that just breaks him, and I don't want to see another Ollie meta ever again. Next up we got Doug, and I think he needs a healing, needs a buff at this point. He's right now just permanently in the C tier. I thought his rework would have made him S tier like a year ago, but nah, it actually made him a C tier brawler. I think if we just buff his healing to 1,200 to 1,300, I think he would just become I think he would at least maybe become a low B tier, but I just think a healing buff is definitely needed with this guy. Next up I want to buff with Sam. I think it should be aimable. I think that would help him out a lot. Like a bit like Ollie's and Mo's. Like something like that. I think if he got that change, I think he would become a lot better. Next up we got Guam, and I think he needs just a little buff. I think just buff his attack damage, not by a lot, maybe just like 2,280 to 2,320, and then just buff his projectiles to be by 1%. Yeah, that's right, 1%. Let's give him a little help up to 6,200, and let's just see where he lands with that. Next up we got Bonnie. Let's just at this point just revert her supercharge weight. I think right now it takes 5 hits. Revert that to 4 hits. So just nerf a hypercharge weight a little bit, and let's see where she lands with that. Next up we got Dynamite, and at this point he just needs any sort of buff. I just think he needs a health buff. If you buff anything else, I think it could make a potential broken, like buff just a hypercharge rate or supercharge rate. But I think they need to touch the health, supercharge rate or hypercharge rate. Because if we touch any of the damage, then he might just become a bit broken. Next up, I would like a buff of Daryl. I don't know how you buff him at this point without making him broken. Maybe you could just make the steel hoop 3 seconds. And maybe we could just buff the damage of the recalling rotator by like to 800 damage. I'm just trying to recommend buffs. I just think these buffs are just needed right now. Next up we got Brawl. I think they should buff his damage to 2,280 to 2,200. I think they should help him out quite a bit, and probably will turn him back into the knockout meta. Next up we got Chloe. I think they should just revert his super Wayne attack range just like a little bit. I don't know how much. I guess do 5% of a range buff. think 20% was a bit too much. Let's just do 5% for now and see where he lands with that. Next up we got Melody, and I think she should just get a little buff to her notes. Damage to 1,840 to 1,940, I think. How much damage do I believe? Yeah, just do that buff. Next up I want to buff with Eve. I think ever since Angelo and Shane and Juju came into the game, yeah, Eve has just been power equipped by those brawlers. So I think if you just give her a health buff or a hypercharge rate buff, just by a little bit, like buff her health to 6,200 to 6,600 and just buff her hypercharge rate just a little bit. I think she'll return to the meta a little bit. Next up, Ash. There were quite a few brawlers I want to buff with. I don't know how we're going to buff him at this weight. Maybe we just buff like the first bash star power like 200%, like to 210%. I'm just trying to think ways to not make him broken, because when he is broken it can be very annoying to deal with. I think that buff, and maybe just buff damage like 1,600 to 1,700, a little bit better. I think it would at least be up there. The final buff I want is with Mandy, and I think a supercharge rate buff would help her out. Just because if she can get more supers, she could deal more damage, and she needs those supers for bounty and knockout. So let's just let her get more supers then. Next up, the nerfs. First, the Brawl nerf of Rita. No, I know what you're about to say. Why nerf of Rita? Because he is getting a buffy this update, and if he gets released with no nerfs, with a buffy release, yeah, he is just going to be the best brawler in the game, probably. So I figure we just need to, and he's already a low A to high B tier, so that says a lot. He's already getting nerfed with his reload speed. It's been up by 15%. I just think enough to the multiple ball launcher gadget and the hypercharge with nerf will definitely help him out. Make this 24 seconds and make this just nerf him. Just nerf how much hypercharge rate you want. Just nerf hypercharge rate, because the buffies will definitely make him broken. Next up we got Ziggy, and I don't like Ziggy in the meta. I'm going to be really honest. I think he definitely needs enough to his damage. I think if we give him the damage, let's just think he could hit his shots, but he doesn't have a lot of damage. So let's just nerf it like to 1,900 to 1,700, for example. That before we turn him down, this should now help to 6,400 to 5,800. I think that would make him balance.
Another satisfied customer.
Let's just nerf the candy bean gadget to 15 seconds to 20 seconds. I know it's not the biggest nerf of all time, but you can easily kill Justice. So let's see where he lands with this nerf. Pierce. So Pierce doesn't need enough. I think his attack damage is enough, or all he needs enough to have charge rate. You could be looking at a lot of this dude. Like, I think the slowness should just be enough. 30% to 15, maybe even 10%. Be enough in the attack damage to 1,900 to 1,700, and then maybe love the supercharge rate by like 5% or something. And the nerf is out to 6,000 to 5,600, because in my opinion, he's kind of tanky for a sniper. Well, except for Bonnie and but they're not the best right now. So I think it is a decent nerf. Next up we got Brawl, and I don't know how you nerf him at this point. I'd say nerf the healing, and I think he'll be in a good spot. Like maybe we could just maybe this should just last 2 seconds, and then maybe we could just nerf the Vex damage. Just how I've even nerfed. Next up we got Mortis, and I think his damage should be nerfed to 2,000 to 1,800, because I do think he does a bit too much. I just think he just needs a damage nerf. Let's should turn him down a bit. Next up we have Leon, and I think he just needs a stupid bastard. Just nerf the bug and fix the bug, and I think he'll be in a good spot. And if you don't know what I mean, basically with the lollipop drop, he basically just gets extra movement speed. Yeah, that definitely needs to be fixed. Speaking about fixing bugs, please buff Colette damage from 1,000 to 1,100, because that is in the patch notes like 2 months ago and it still hasn't been done. So yeah, please do that. Next up we got Pansy, and I think they should just nerf his level 1 attack damage to 1,400 to 1,200 and see where he lands with that, because he has been very broken. He's just been very bad in the past. So let's just nerf him a little bit by update, and then eventually he'll become balanced, I think. Okay, Nadia is the biggest brawler that we need to nerf, and at this point we just kill her. Like that. Let's just nerf that attack. Okay, whatever that homing is by 50% or 100%. However, broken that homing is just way too broken. Nerf it by 50%. It should just be like some equals slightly homes, not 100% homes. It could literally go like, but it could literally go past rules. So not even a 50% rule can save you. So that definitely can nerf. And maybe we could be nerfing a health. And I think I attack damage from my super death and the now. You could be looking at like at least 6.5 here. Crow. Yeah, I think he does need enough. He could be nothing sabotage or one of these desert buffies. One of these just to make him balance. Alright, that's all going to be nothing back on what we want for the update. Now let's jump into Damian and the Super. Alright, let's start off with the first member that's probably joining the trio with Gigi, and Gigi is the oddities shop, just because of the Brawl Stars trailer thing. So I think someone's going to join Gigi's trio, so it means it'll be completed. Well, next up we got Damian. Okay, next up we do have Damian, and we know when he's going to be released, and that will be April 24th. So pretty much like a week from now, he will probably be released. But he will be joining Lumi and Draco's trio, if it's not obvious by now. So now let's get to the final brawler that is going to be released that I think is joining. And the final member should be joining Meatball's trio. Just because it's been like a long time. It's just been a long time since Meatball's been released, and he's still a single member in his trio. So I think someone will be joining his trio if there are going to be 3 new brawlers in this update. So that is the final brawler that I think is joining Meatball's trio. Right now, just a few more things left to go. Colette, Rico, 8-Bit, Edgar, Colette, Griff, Rico, 8-bit and Book are getting buffies next update. There should be a Nadia hypercharge, and she did get a hypercharge rate buff, so I am kind of scared for that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And if you live in Brazil, then the gacha changes will come in. And let me just show you my channel. So like, some people from Brazil do watch my videos. So if you do live in Brazil and you do watch my videos, those changes will be coming in for you then. Anyways, thank you for watching my video. I will probably be making a video about the Brawl talk, maybe. But it won't be like a reaction, it'll just be like to talk about the new update. Alright. Thank you for watching, and I'm out. Pyfox out.